I'm in Japan right now, and every single time that I say that I'm from the United States, people look at me with disdain.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, thanks for clicking on this video. So I came across a clip on TikTok where some Americans are complaining about how they're being treated because of where they're from. It popped up on my For You page and I found it interesting. Let's check out that clip first, then we'll get into the main video.
I'm in Japan right now, and every single time that I say that I'm from the United States, people look at me with disdain and disgust, and I have to explain myself every fucking time. I've been to Europe, the same fucking thing applies. It is embarrassing at this point. I have no words for it anymore. It's just disgusting and embarrassing. I have no fucking words.
So in the comment section of that video we just watched, a lot of people, especially Americans traveling abroad, were saying they've experienced similar things. One person mentioned they're currently in Spain and dealing with the same situation. But what stood out to me was a different perspective. I saw a comment from a Black American saying her experience was actually the opposite. She said, "I'm a Black American, and people ask if I'm safe." And others agreed. One person replied that people were kind and made sure they were okay. Another shared that, while in Mexico, their host family even asked if they needed to stay longer because they were worried about them going back to the US so clearly. People are having very different experiences depending on who they are. I found that really interesting, so let me know what you think in the comments. Now, let's get into the main video. In today's video, we're looking at this viral TikTok clip. A white American woman is trending after posting videos about her experience while on vacation in Northern Ireland. In the videos, she's visibly upset, crying and talking about how she felt she wasn't treated well. I'm going to show you 2 clips, and then we'll also check out some reactions and stitches. Let's get into it.
That moment when you go into a Northern Ireland bar and are immediately accused of being a bad person because you're from the United States, doesn't feel very good. Culture shock, I guess. But we're staying in this cute little coastal town, and we went to just enjoy a beer, and we're like, we don't want to talk about anything or anything like that, and it just ended up with me in tears. So, if you're an American citizen, maybe just proceed with caution. I honestly thought I was doing the polite thing. And I didn't say anything mean or nasty to them. I just simply asked my husband if we paid for our pints already, and he said, yes, we did. And I said, okay. I'm like, we need to go. Like, just the atmosphere just felt very negative and hateful. So dislike me if you will, call me every name in the book, that's fine. Some of those comments were absolutely diabolical and insane. I can't believe people will take time out of their day to write paragraphs of just hate from one person's video. You guys don't know who I am. It's just, you're generalizing, and that's really unfair and uncool. And I would like to say that if anybody came to my country, I would never, ever outright just be like demanding answers to sensitive topics. It's just, in my book, it's not polite. So yeah.
So obviously the video went viral, but the empathy she was looking for? She didn't really get it. She ended up taking the videos down, and I think even her entire page, because when I checked TikTok, I couldn't find her anymore. In the comments, people started asking who she voted for. She didn't respond, but of course, it's the internet. People did their digging. They found an older video she posted about Donald Trump, and a lot of people started saying she got the reaction she deserved. But yeah, I've put together some clips for you guys. Stay with me. I'll also show you some of the comments. I decided to cover this because it's trending and everyone's talking about it. Let's check out the clips.
That moment when you go into a Northern Ireland bar and are immediately accused of being
a bad person because you're from the United States.
I watched all 10 minutes, so you don't have to. And I'll lay the groundwork for where we are in the story much faster than she did. So her and her husband are vacationing in Ireland. They walk into an Irish pub. There's a table that looks like it's open next to a fireplace. So she asks a man that's close to it, hey, is that table open? He says yes. And then this happens.
And the gentleman said, are you American? And I said, yes, we're American. And I'm not lying to you when I say it instantly went from, yes, I'm American, to, well, who'd you vote for? And I kind of was just shocked. I'm like, wow, that was very direct.
I'm honestly not sure what's so shocking about that because, like she said, the news was playing up above the bar, so the whole world sees what the hell's going on right now, and the whole world thinks this entire administration is bullshit. And I can vouch that people all over the world are asking that question, who did you vote for? This was my family and I in Greece last year, and also in Paris during the same trip. And yes, we were asked that question more than once. The difference is the question didn't bother me because I know that I didn't vote for this shit.
And I said, we're on vacation. We're trying to get away from all of that. We don't really want to talk about it.
There's only one reason that somebody does not want to talk about it, and that's because you voted for it. That's literally it. That's the only reason. The second somebody says, oh, I don't want to talk about it, or, oh, this is sensitive, we know who you voted for.
I did not know that that automatically meant, oh, you're a MAGA crazy Nazi that blah, 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 blah.
Yes, you did, which is why you didn't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that. It's uncomfortable.
I would be very uncomfortable also if I had to tell somebody that I voted for everything that's going on right now. So I get it, but that's also your fault. Luckily, I won't have to know what that's like.
Why would you want, especially while drinking, why would you want to talk about something so sensitive with complete strangers while you're a guest in their country?
Because the whole world wants to know when they see you in their country, hey, did you vote for all this tragedy and all this garbage that we see going on in the United States of America? They don't want it there. And I'll say during our trip to Europe, we never ran into any problems. People loved us. We loved them. We had a great time. Everybody was awesome. And yeah, we were asked that question numerous times, and I was more than happy to tell them I voted for her. I did not vote for this. Case closed.
If you're an American citizen, maybe just proceed with caution.
Wait a minute. What part are you glossing over there? Yeah. The one part where you're like, we were like, we don't want to talk about anything. So were they asking you about your dog? Were they like, hey, we don't like you because the way Americans treat their dogs? What part are you glossing over there? Like, what conversation did you not want to have that made you end up in tears? Was it about how you cook macaroni and cheese? Was it that? Could it have been politics? Was it your favorite color? Like, what conversation would you have had to make a whole room of people in Ireland turn on you? Huh. But you're saying it's because you're American, right? So you would agree that judging people simply for their nationality is wrong, right? Right? So just because you're an American doesn't innately make you a criminal, rapist, horrible person, right? Because, that's not, the way we're supposed to judge individuals, right? Right? So feel free to fill in the blanks. I know you don't like to talk about it, but I'm highly interested. I mean, you did bring it onto the internet and get thousands of likes and comments and everything like that. So you obviously do want to talk about it. So, man, I'm here.
That lady got on this app, says she went to Ireland, went to a pub. Do they call them pubs there? Bars or something? I don't know. Anyway, they knew she would identify her as a white American and asked who she voted for, and she got pressed, stressed, and started crying. I don't know if she cried there, but she's crying on the apps. But of course she is, right? And she said, oh, why should we have to talk about politics? I'm just here for a good time. I'm Irish and all this kind of stuff. The Irish people was like, look, we had a good time with them black people that carry gold butter. But people like you unleashed Donald Trump on the world. Ain't no safe haven here. So that is a good lesson. It's a good lesson for white people in this country and anybody else that voted for Donald Trump, right? Black, Latino, Asian, Indian, indigenous. If y'all voted for Donald Trump, you should not be comfortable in any other country. You shouldn't be, because you have unleashed that disease on the world right now, and many nations are suffering because of it. So your little fly-by-night vacations and things, you think you could just enjoy the cultures and the people, other places, and they hate that guy and you put him in office, you deserve to be uncomfortable. I love that for you. I do. I love that for you. And I wish more of it happened in this country. And you know what? Look, I have it on my page. I did a rant about white people in America being the most hated white people of all white people in the world right now. Like, you're the most hated. It doesn't matter if you're MAGA or Democrat. It doesn't matter. The rest of the world, if you ranked white people like you ranked tennis players, white Americans, out of all the white people that come from that European, what they call a continent, it ain't even a continent, you guys are ranked dead last because you have allowed this man to disrupt so many lives and countries around the world. So that lady felt bad, and you know what? That made me smile. Good. You guys should not be welcome outside these borders because of what you've done to the rest of the world. But you know what? Here's something I know. When I've traveled overseas, when I said I was from the United States, people get a little side eye, but I could usually get through it because I'm friendly. But when I said I was from California, hey, everybody smile. Everybody instantly lights up when you say, where you from? I'm from California. Hey, everybody happy. So maybe that lady should have said she was from California. But even then, they can still ask you, who'd you vote for? Because when we show up in other countries, they ain't asking us who we voted for. They know. So I'm glad her trip was ruined and that she's miserable. And I hope for many more people like her to have their trips ruined and for them to be miserable upon returning to this country because they get to see how other people think of it because of what they've done to this country and the rest of the world.
I took some random screenshots from the comments so you can see what people were saying. You can pause and read through them if you'd like. A lot of people in the comment section were pointing out that when she was asked who she voted for, especially about Donald Trump, she didn't respond. And for many, that silence was seen as an answer. Some comments even said things like, refusing to answer is the answer, and that if it were them, they would have made their stance clear immediately. Others also brought up the fact that she traveled to Northern Ireland and questioned whether she really understood the history or expected a warm reception. Overall, opinions were very divided. I decided to react to this because I've been seeing similar conversations online, especially from some Americans saying they're being treated differently abroad, and people linking that to assumptions about politics. And of course, many people in the comments were critical of her, saying she came online playing the victim, while others pointed out what they saw as contradictions in her situation. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you all and get your thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed.